On the night of May 3rd, 2007, in a quiet holiday resort on Portugal's Algarve coast, a 3-year-old girl vanished from her bed. Her name was Madeleine McCann. She had been left sleeping in a ground-floor apartment with her 2-year-old twin siblings while her parents dined with friends at a restaurant just 55 meters away, close enough to see the building, close enough to walk back and check every half hour. At around 10 p.m., her mother went to check on the children. Madeleine was gone. The window was open, the shutter had been forced, and in the years since, one of the largest, most expensive missing person investigations in modern history has failed to answer the one question that matters most. What happened to Madeleine McCann? Comment below, what do you think happened that night? Before May 2007, the McCanns were an ordinary British family. Gerry and Kate McCann were both doctors from Leicestershire, England. They had 3 children. Madeleine, born in 2003, and twins Sean and Amelie, born in 2005. In late April 2007, the family traveled to Praia da Luz, a small resort town in Portugal, for a week-long holiday with a group of close friends, 7 adults and 8 children in total, later known in the press as the Tapas 7, named for the tapas restaurant where the adults gathered each evening. The families had a routine. The children were put to bed in their apartments, and the parents took turns checking on them throughout the evening while they ate together nearby. It had worked without incident for days. On the night of May 3rd, that routine ended in tragedy. That evening followed the same pattern as every other night that week. Madeleine and the twins were put to bed around 7:30 p.m. in apartment 5A. Kate and Gerry McCann joined their friends for dinner at the Tapas bar, a short walk away. Throughout the night, parents took turns walking back to check on the children. Gerry checked at around 9:05 p.m. and again around 9:15 and reported everything was normal. At 10 p.m., Kate McCann returned to the apartment and found the bedroom window open, the shutter damaged, and Madeleine's bed empty. She raised the alarm immediately. Within minutes, the group of friends, hotel staff, and eventually local police were searching the resort and the surrounding area. No trace of Madeleine was found that night or in the days, weeks, and years that followed. If you'd been in that restaurant, checking on your child every half hour like everyone else that week, would you have suspected anything? The Portuguese police, known as the Polícia Judiciária, launched an investigation, but the case was hampered almost immediately by contamination of the crime scene. The apartment had not been sealed off in the crucial early hours as friends, family, and media moved through it. Early attention turned to a British-Portuguese man named Robert Moura, who lived near the apartment and had been seen in the area helping translate for police and press. He was named an official suspect and his home was searched extensively, his pool drained, his property scanned, his devices examined. No evidence tied him to the disappearance, and he was formally cleared years later. Then in September 2007, Portuguese police shifted their theory entirely. Based on their interpretation of DNA analysis from a British forensic team, investigators suggested Madeleine may have died accidentally in the apartment and that her parents had covered it up. Kate and Gerry McCann were named official suspects arguidos, a status that gave them certain legal protections, but also cast public suspicion on them for years. In July 2008, Portugal's Attorney General formally closed the case, citing a lack of evidence against anyone, including the McCanns. Their suspect status was lifted. What followed was, by many accounts, one of the most damaging tabloid-feeding frenzies in British media history. Newspapers ran stories many later proven false, claiming the McCanns had sedated their children, that the group of friends had a pact of silence, and worse. In 2008, several UK newspapers paid the McCanns over $1 million combined in libel settlements and printed front-page apologies. A former Portuguese police chief who had led the investigation, Gonçalo Amaral, later published a book claiming the McCanns staged the abduction. They sued him for libel and won damages, though the ruling was contested for years afterward through Portugal's courts. For the McCanns, the search for their daughter and the fight to clear their names became one and the same. At this point, foul play, a tragic accident, or something else entirely? Drop your theory in the comments. The Portuguese case may have closed in 2008, but the search never really stopped. The McCanns funded private investigators for years. Then in 2011, London's Metropolitan Police opened their own formal inquiry operation Grange to review the case from scratch. Investigators publicly stated they believed Madeleine's disappearance was most likely a criminal act by a stranger, a planned abduction, or possibly a burglary that escalated. In 2013, the Met released e-fit images of men they wanted to identify, including a sketch of a man reportedly seen carrying a child toward the beach that night. For years, none of these leads produced a breakthrough. Then, in June 2020, came the biggest development in over a decade. German and British authorities announced they were investigating a German man in connection with Madeleine's disappearance, Christian Bruckner. Bruckner had lived in the Algarve region on and off between 1995 and 2007, including a stretch in Praia da Luz itself. At the time he was named, he was already in a German prison, convicted of raping a 72-year-old American tourist in the same area in 2005. German prosecutors said cell phone data placed Bruckner's phone near the McCann's apartment complex around the time Madeleine disappeared, and that he had a documented history of breaking into hotel rooms and vacation properties in the area. The lead German prosecutor stated publicly that his office believed Madeleine is dead and that they were confident Bruckner was responsible, but confidence isn't the same as proof. To date, he has never been charged in connection with her case. Do you think this case will ever be solved? Why or why not? Where the case stands today. As of 2026, Madeleine McCann's disappearance remains formally unsolved. Bruckner was convicted on an unrelated case, but a German court acquitted him in 2024 of separate sexual assault charges from his time in Portugal. A ruling German federal prosecutors have since challenged, pushing for those charges to be retried. He was released from his most recent prison sentence in September 2025 and has since struggled to find stable housing, living for a time in tents in wooded areas of northern Germany amid public protests over his presence. British police have said they are working to build a strong enough case to bring formal charges against Bruckner and have discussed the possibility of extraditing him to stand trial in the UK, though German law creates significant legal obstacles to that happening. Periodic searches continue. In 2023, police searched a reservoir near Praia da Luz. In 2025, investigators conducted another search near the resort. Neither has produced confirmed new evidence. For Kate and Jerry McCann, now approaching 2 decades since that night, there has been no resolution, only the continued painful work of waiting. 19 years later, the disappearance of Madeleine McCann remains one of the most investigated, most publicized, and least resolved cases in modern criminal history. What makes it so unsettling isn't just the mystery of what happened in that apartment, it's everything the mystery exposed along the way. How quickly public opinion can turn on innocent people, how a police investigation can be shaped by media pressure, and how, even with a named suspect and mountains of evidence, the truth can still remain frustratingly out of reach. Somewhere the full story of that night exists. Whether it will ever be told in a courtroom is still an open question. If you had to solve this case, what would be your first step? Let us know below. If you found this case as haunting as we did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. We cover real, thoroughly researched cases every week, always with respect for the victims and families at the center of them. Some stories don't end. They just stay open, waiting for one more answer. All details above are drawn from verified reporting, BBC, CNN, The Guardian, Wikipedia's source timeline, and 2026 coverage from the Portugal News, ITV News, and The Week. No invented, shocking details or unverified rumors were added, a deliberate departure from the original template, since this is a real, ongoing case involving a real family. One unverified claim circulating in early 2026, since disputed sighting reference in released Epstein-related documents, was deliberately excluded, since it has not been corroborated and would risk presenting rumor as fact. Recommend on-screen text disclaimers whenever a theory versus a confirmed fact is being discussed.